4, 3, 2, hamstring, go. One each. Let's go, Team Camnet. One each. Oh, we need to pull some stuff. Let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Stay there. 4, 3, 2, marching. That is your cool down now. If you want, you can quickly sip some warm water. And there we go. I think we need to throw some punches.
Let's do this, Camnet!
You know the one we're gonna do?
Okay.
We're gonna do a side punch. We'll be trotting with a punch. You remember that one?
Yes.
4, 3. We'll go with the right one actually. 4, 3, 2. Let's go. This is doable. What do you think?
I'm dying.
Woo, I don't think so. Let's go. Push. Push. Let's punch into our day. Ooh. 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 Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. The other side. She's sipping some water. Now that's the reality of the workout. Sometimes you are doing the workout and you just have to go and sip some water. So there you go. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, and marching. So now I deliberately brought in my friend so that you see how it goes. Sometimes in the middle of a workout, you feel like you need to stop, drink some water. And that's what she did. Shola, let's go. Water break is over. Woo. Let's go. Match. And 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's go. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. On the sides. 1, 2. Keep going. Let's go. 1, 2. And 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's go. Match. Awesome workout, Team Camnet. Say something on our Facebook page. Let us know where you're watching from. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you next week. Thank you so much. This has been Isaac Matza, your presenter. Remember, always to tune into Camnet TV.
Well. Hope you're feeling energetic. I wish I could say that I was working out on the other side, but I would be lying. But anyways, if you were working out on the other side, I'm sure you're feeling some type of way, because you might consider that you might just look at the 5 minutes workout as just 5 minutes workout, but I'm sure it does something. So if you just wait for the Saturday morning boost to come through for you to work out, well, I think that's somehow not a good idea, because your body gets to feel in a certain way. For those of you that are starting to just work out, the best is take long walks, do the jogging if you have the strength to do so, walk around the house and just do home workouts. That would actually help you boost your immune. If you are a fan of sports, you can find the sports that you can be doing two times in a week, or maybe 3 times in a week, depending on how your schedule is. You can do it in the morning before or after work. Okay, so on the other side, we'll be getting into things that have been happening around, that is the current affairs, considering the fact that we are still digesting the information that the Cabinet has allowed, or let's say the COVID vaccine actually been allowed. So we're waiting for more information on that. And they've said it was under the World Health Organization, which is the UNICEF on the other side as well. So they've said it's very safe and they had consulted. So what we need to do is wait for the information. They couldn't give us something that would actually ruin us, okay? They do something that would actually improve our health and stuff like that. So now, before we get into our current affairs, and also we'll be looking at who will be coming through on set today, let's just take a short break and then we continue with the conversation on the other side.
2021 has been described as a highly politically charged year. This is because every 5 years the country goes to the polls, and that 5 years elapses with only a few months remaining down to the ballot. The battlefield to appear on the ballot is becoming fertile. A lot of people are expressing interest of appearing on the ballot.
In all this, our interest is to put the duty bearers, the leaders, and those aspiring to task by asking the relevant questions.
If you're an aspiring candidate, be it councillor, mayor, or member of parliament, get in touch with us to get yourself on the verdict.
We go beyond speculation in dealing with policy and governance issues. The right questions are asked to help you make a verdict.
For more details, you can call us on 0962 965883, 0979 753010, or email us info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Join us on Camnet TV
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 17:45 hours
on a new program dubbed The Verdict.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Are you a qualified and skilled marketing person? Have you got the passion and motivation as a marketer? Camnet TV is looking for self-motivated, qualified marketers. For more details, please call 0962 965 883 or send your details to the email info@camnettvafrica.com.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Welcome back. You're watching the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show with me, your host, Precious Mzea Sakaleji, on Camnet TV, not just another channel. Now, before I actually get into the content or maybe the lineup on the breakfast show, there is something coming soon from Camnet TV, and I'm sure you have seen the advert running on your screen talking about the verdict. I'm sure there's some of you that don't really understand what the show is about. Well, as we are headed towards the general elections, we've got so many aspiring candidates from different provinces and different constituencies. So we have decided as Camnet TV to come up with a show that will allow your leaders to come through and set and sell their manifestos. Okay, so if you feel that there's certain questions that you have for your leaders, well, we'll be having some on the panel, and you will be allowed to do so via text messages and also phone calls. So we'll be having different candidates. We're hoping that we get to cover as many candidates as possible. And also, I'm not only talking to the viewers out there, I'm talking to you as an aspiring candidate. You might be aspiring to be the councillor or member of parliament, even the mayoral seat. So if you feel that you are ready to talk to your people and ready to sell your manifesto as we head towards the general elections, well, this is actually the show for you. The verdict, it will be coming on the days that were mentioned. For those of you that haven't seen the advert, it will definitely come through later on. So now, terms and conditions apply. We'll get to be having it in the evenings Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays and Friday, okay, at 17:45 hours. So you need to make sure that you're glued during these days. So we are saying hashtag coming soon. So it's something that's coming to your screen. And also we're going to look at different issues when it comes to elections. What is it that you as a citizen need to do? What is it that your leaders need to do during campaign and also during the time for elections? For those of you that don't really understand all this process and also the stages of being that leader for you to get that seat, knowing for the fact that as we are headed towards elections, there's so many aspiring candidates that are vying for the seat. Not forgetting, we also have something on the other side that talks about leaders that are already in office. We have Frank on Camnet TV. That's actually a one-year show that actually has come through on your screen. So don't forget to be tuned in. Okay, I am selling the verdict. Okay, so I am looking forward to the time that we actually have different candidates on set, and they will be selling their manifesto, what their plans are for the constituency. And if you have any questions, of course we can't run away from the fact that during campaigns, okay, during campaigns we are sold these awesome words, okay, as it happens. It has been happening for a very long time. When there's an aspiring candidate and they're doing their campaign, they'll tell you, when I come into office, I'm going to, all the houses are going to, I'm just saying, not that that's what they say, but this is like the line of the manifesto that actually comes through. I'm going to make sure that all the roads, all the gravel roads are tarred. I'm going to make sure that you have access to clean water. I'm going to make sure that the constituency has access to education, which is good infrastructures, making sure that certain level of education is free. I'll make sure that there's so many things that they get to promise us. Okay, so we're going to be having that time on the verdict where we get to give candidates, aspiring candidates, their time to actually sell their manifesto. And also, in the middle of the show, we'll allow you, the viewers, during that time to actually ask questions. Okay, in terms of education, what are you going to do for the constituency? In terms of the women, what are you going to do for the constituency? Not forgetting the disabled people, what are you going to do for them once we elect you into office, once we choose you as our leader? So we will have such sections, and also we'll talk about different issues. For example, if it's time for campaign, what is it that a candidate is supposed to do? What is it that you as a citizen is supposed to make sure before you actually cast your vote on that particular candidate? What is it that you need to know about that particular person? And also we tend to actually not put in more interest when it comes to us voting for that particular person. I feel sometimes we vote for the party unlike voting for the person, so we don't even pay attention, lack of better terms, to what their manifesto says. This is one of the major thing that us citizens don't get to consider. Okay, so as you're voting for a candidate, there's so many things that you need to look at. The constituency they come from, where they come from, if they once held a position in government, and if they once were a member of parliament or a councillor or a mayor in a certain province or in certain constituency, what is it that they did? Okay, I personally feel if we're going to give someone a term of 5 years to work on a constituency, I think they should be given some sort of probation, like the way they do at a workplace. They give you a certain period of months to say, we're giving you these months and we want you to prove to us that you are actually capable of doing the job and managing this position. Okay, unlike waiting for another term for you to re-elect, I feel that we don't actually push in much when it comes to such things, because we get to hear so many complaints from citizens, residents, to say, no, petina votela ba councillor batu, ba member of parliament batu, ba MP, banakamba tozatfakira manzi 5 years, 3 years ya kwana kulibe vamene wachita bama bwera cha beta matime ya campaign tikawa votela once baziva cha beta ba wina nishi ise batiba lako. Such complaints. Okay, so we need to consider, I feel there should be somehow a law that talks about giving these leaders a certain period to show that they're actually capable of doing the job, unlike paying someone and they're not doing their job, which is very unfair to the residents of that particular constituency and very unfair to the government. It's like they're giving you free money. So all those things will be talked about on the verdict. We'll have different guests from different constituencies, from different provinces. So if you feel you're not in Lusaka, it's not restricted. It's not only for Lusaka aspiring candidates. We're talking about the whole nation. Okay, so if you feel that you are ready to feature on The Verdict, which is one of the shows that we've put up for aspiring candidates, councillor, mayor and member of parliament, you can communicate with us on the numbers scrolling your screen, or send us the information or details, or maybe a letter to say that you want to feature on The Verdict show. info@camnettvafrica.com. That is our email address, and we would love to actually accommodate you on The Verdict. Whew. Okay, so I was actually selling the show that's coming soon on Camnet TV, which is The Verdict, and then we will get into what we will be talking about on The Breakfast Show. But for now, let's take a short break, and I'll be back on the other side.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lukalu, all the way from South Africa. You are watching Camnet channel, not just another channel. God bless you. Stay tuned.
This is Camnet TV World News. For a prompt response, call +2609 53 995 099 or +2609 62 444 726 or +2609 711 77467. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
2021 has been described as a highly politically charged year. This is because every 5 years the country goes to the polls, and that 5 years elapses. With only a few months remaining down to the ballot, the battlefield to appear on the ballot is becoming fertile. A lot of people are expressing interest of appearing on the ballot.
In all this, our interest is to put the duty bearers, the leaders, and those aspiring to task by asking the relevant questions.
If you're an aspiring candidate, be it councillor, mayor or member of parliament, get in touch with us to get yourself on The Verdict.
We go beyond speculation in dealing with policy and governance issues. The right questions are asked to help you make a verdict.
For more details, you can call us on 0962 965883, 0979 753010, or email us info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Join us on Camnet TV
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday at 17:45 hours
on a new program dubbed The Verdict.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Welcome back to the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show. In case you've just joined us, you haven't missed much. I was just singing about the verdict that's supposed to start very soon. So keep your eyes not on the ground, keep your eyes on the screen. Okay, Camnet TV on the other side as well. Now, getting into the current affairs and what has been happening around, talking about our health and the COVID-19 vaccine. I remember looking at a news item, not looking at a news item, we carried a news item that we got different views from residents and also students on the COVID-19 vaccine. And I remember last week on the Breakfast Show, we spoke about it. People are still skeptical, and stakeholders are also skeptical about the COVID-19 vaccine as well. But the World Health Organization has assured Zambians that the COVAX vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine is actually safe and it is effective. Okay, so let's take a look at this clip on the what the World Health Organization was saying about the COVID-19 vaccine, and then we'll get to the conversation on the other side.
I think as WHO and indeed the whole world, and even the Africa CDC, which is the launch we are doing now, we all support the adopting use of vaccines as an additional intervention in the fight against COVID-19. You are aware of the COVAX facility where UNICEF, WHO and CEPI, and also working with Gavi, have come together to try and provide vaccines to the country. We are aware of the AVAT, which is the African Union initiative, to also make sure that vaccines are available to the people. So what I would say is that we support the decision by government to go ahead and adopt the vaccines, and we'll continue supporting all aspects of this work, including the operations, including the technical advice that we give, until that becomes a reality here in Zambia. Well, what we know at the moment, that it is a safe, efficacious vaccine that has been recommended by the WHO SAGE, Strategic Advisory Group on Immunization. And so it is a very safe vaccine that will be used, but it's also among a number of vaccines that have been approved globally by WHO, but also have been adopted by the government of Zambia.
Well, there you have it. So we're safe, guys. We're really safe. I know we had some issues some time back where we were actually questioning the Ministry of Health when we got into that scandal with Honeybee, but we're hoping, and for the fact that some desks were cleared after that incident, I feel we're safe if we get the right information. And I always emphasize on this thing, sensitization. Okay, me hearing information on the news, information on social media about the COVID-19 vaccine is not enough information. How about that person that doesn't understand English? How about that person that doesn't have access to a radio or even a TV or a phone, a mobile phone? Because for us that have access to this information, to these devices, it's very easy for us to just open up the phone, unlock it, go to a search pad, search for AstraZeneca vaccine, and also search for side effects, and also which company is providing that. It's easy for me to do that. But let's take a look at people that are in the rural areas, people that don't have access to such devices and also access to such information. So I feel sensitization should be done on this one, because it's very important, and we will have issues with people saying it's not safe, yada yada, because they don't have information on how this works and how effective it is. And also let's consider Balyabantu abashitande chisungu. Okay, let's consider such people. Now, we're asking you the question on the other side as we are still talking and conversating on the breakfast show. The question is, we are in the Easter holiday. What do you know about Easter on the other side? So you can come to our Facebook platform, or maybe you can call us on the numbers scrolling on your screen, and we would love to hear what you have to say. On the other side, still talking about politics, and we cannot run away from that, because during this moment is when you see the ghost candidates coming out. You don't even know, there are people that actually don't even know who is their member of parliament in certain constituencies, because they've only seen them once before during campaigns. After elections, they vanished, waited for other years, and then they'll be back. So there's such things, and also we can't run away from the fact that we're dealing with different political parties. I would love to mention them, but I'm sure there are a lot, and I don't want to leave some. So we are headed such time, so we can't run away from political stories. On the other side, we're talking about the movement for multi-party democracy, still deciding and contemplating which political party alliance to belong to as they head towards the general elections. Like I mentioned, personally, I am having fun that there's all these stories coming from different political parties. Somehow I am entertained, because honestly speaking, and I mentioned, I'm sure, on the other breakfast show, if you followed us last week, I was saying I'm glad that the political parties are having these fights now, so that by the time we're headed towards the elections, or during the time for campaigns and time for elections, we are going to have I'm hoping we're going to have a smooth path. Okay, as a citizen, avoid being involved in political violence. It is not worth it. Okay, your life is precious, so is mine, so we need to take care of them. So anyways, we're talking about that. Let's get into this clip where the movement for multi-party democracy, MMD, is still contemplating what political party alliance to belong to as we are headed towards the elections.
If you remember, before the convention, the president had announced that this was one of the issues that was going to be tabled at the convention. And I'm happy to state that it was tabled, and the convention agreed that yes, it is important that we need to start thinking about working with others. But we needed to have a committee put in place, headed by our Vice President Political. I've been sitting. Yesterday I was given a report that they've done extensive work, and they are going to address or to take the press next Wednesday for them to tell you exactly the modalities of working with anyone that will come on the table. So that's all I can say about the alliances. Wait for the chairman and the committee to address this issue about next week Tuesday. They are going to take the press. The MMD has moved on. So issues of 1, 2, 3 people trying to disrupt the organization of this party is not. It's neither here nor there. We have moved on. So if there are 2 or 3 people trying to be a problem to the party, they'll just hinder themselves. We have moved on. So our focus is August.
Oh, well, there you have it. We'll be having a guest later on to talk about young people in governance. We cannot also run away from the fact that we need young people in governance. I remember someone said, not someone said, it's actually there, imitikula empanga. Okay, so we cannot keep on holding on to certain seats because we need to leave space for us young people to actually take up certain offices. Well, for now, let's take a short break and then I'll be back on the other side.
I'm Ambassador Frank Mutsabila. My 50 years journey in the media has now taken me to Camnet television. I'm very excited to join this amazing inner family. The importance of governance issues cannot be overemphasized. Every Tuesday at 20:45, I'll be going under the skin of a governance issue with my guest. I'll be interrogating the guest so that you can make an informed decision. I'll be coming on every Tuesday at 20:45 with Frank on Camnet.
...2021 has been described as a highly politically charged year. This is because every 5 years, the country goes to the polls, and that 5 years elapses. With only a few months remaining down to the ballot, the battlefield to appear on the ballot is becoming fertile. A lot of people are expressing interest of appearing on the ballot.
In all this, our interest is to put the duty bearers, the leaders, and those aspiring to task by asking the relevant questions.
If you're an aspiring candidate, be it councillor, mayor, or member of parliament, get in touch with us to get yourself on the verdict.
We go beyond speculation in dealing with policy and governance issues. The right questions are asked to help you make a verdict.
For more details, you can call us on 0962 965883, 0979 753010, or email us info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Join us on Camnet TV
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 17:45 hours
on a new program dubbed The Verdict.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
The Bible says, I
Welcome back. You're still on the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show. For those of you that would love to get interactive with us, we can call us on 0968675273, 0968675273, and we would like to hear from you. You can also come through on our Facebook fan page, which is Camnet TV. Go there and comment. We're asking what you know about Easter. On the other side, also, you can connect with us on Instagram, which is Camnet TV Africa. Now, as we were talking about the elections and heading towards the general elections, which is in August, Dr. Bishop Joshua Banda actually mentioned they had different bishops that came through the Pentecostal Assembly of God, and they were talking about how political parties should actually not condone political violence, and also that we should have a peaceful election and peaceful campaign. So it was an emphasis to all political parties to make sure that as we head these directions, which is the general election direction, we shouldn't condone political violence. Let's get into that and then we continue on the other side.
Easter is an important event in the calendar of Christians as it reminds them of the importance of the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. It is celebrated by Christians as a joyous holiday because it represents the fulfillment of the prophecy of the Old Testament and the revelation of God's salvific plans for all mankind. And as Easter period nears, the Pentecostal Assemblies of God Council of Bishops has called for peace in the country ahead of the August general elections. Assemblies presiding Bishop Dr. Joshua Banda at a briefing in Lusaka said Easter should be seen as an opportunity to foster the spirit of harmony and national unity.
For the Christian community in general, and the Christian nation that we are in particular, the Easter period presents or gives us an opportunity for reflection and repentance. It is indeed an opportunity to foster the spirit of harmony and national unity. Our Lord Jesus Christ demonstrated such love and grace and mercy for fallen and sinful humanity to the extent that he sacrificed his own life to reconcile and save all those that come to him in humble contrition and repentance.
The presiding bishop has also called on all political parties to ensure continued peace and coexistence as the country heads towards the general elections.
We further call upon leaders and members of political parties to ensure continued peaceful coexistence of our people. And we, in this particular sense, denounce intra-party and inter-party political violence. We reiterate our previous messages that no one should die or be killed in the name of a political party or in the name of politics.
And on the COVID-19 vaccines, the bishop has praised government for taking a step and procuring the vaccines, but says that those who intend not to take the vaccines should not be discriminated.
To accept and soon start administering the vaccines, some vaccines to citizens. In the absence of the availability of locally tested or developed alternatives, the decision of the government is commendable. However, we caution, as we have done in other meetings in different fora with stakeholders, including the government, and also through our other affiliate groups such as the Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, we have cautioned that the decision to be vaccinated should be based on individuals' free will, and that no limitations such as profiling leading to restrictions on individual liberties should be allowed.
Zambia is in the capable hands of God Almighty, and Easter is a demonstration of ultimate love that one should lay down his life for others. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
There you have it. So let's have a free and fair election. Don't do the pangas, the plangazi, the what. No, I belong to what political party. At the end of the day, all what we want is a better Zambia and a good leader that's going to take care of Mother Zambia. So now let's not get into all political violence or anything that involves violence during these elections. if you belong to a certain political party, respect the fact that other people also belong to that political party. We've got different political parties around, and if you feel that the need to actually fight someone because of a political party, then you need to actually think twice, because it's not worth it. I remember someone mentioned something, there was a time when it was really bad with the cadres from different political parties, and they were asked the question, have you ever seen your political party president with the other political party president actually fighting each other? And the answer was no. In as much as you are fighting each other, they actually sit down on tables and exchange wisdom, plans on how they're going to make Zambia a better nation. So it's not really worth it actually getting into all those fights. Okay, now since we're into the Easter mood, after that I will be having my guest come in. So we'll be talking about young people in governance, and also the plan on how we can actually make sure that the young people are part of the governance system on the other side. For now, let's take a look at this Easter explanation, and then we get back to the conversation.
Easter eggs, also called Pascal eggs, are decorated eggs that are usually used as gifts on the occasion of Easter. As such, Easter eggs are common during the season of Eastertide, Easter season. The oldest tradition is to use dyed and painted chicken eggs, but a modern custom is to substitute chocolate eggs wrapped in colored foil, hand-carved wooden eggs, or plastic eggs filled with confectionery such as chocolate. However, real eggs continue to be used in Central and Eastern European tradition. Although eggs, in general, were a traditional symbol of fertility and rebirth, in Christianity, for the celebration of Eastertide, Easter eggs symbolized the empty tomb of Jesus, from which Jesus resurrected. In addition, one ancient tradition was the staining of Easter eggs with a color red in memory of the blood of Christ shed as at that time of his crucifixion. This custom of the Easter egg can be traced to early Christians of Mesopotamia, and from there it spread into Russia and Siberia through the Orthodox churches, and later into Europe through the Catholic and Protestant churches. This Christian use of eggs may have been influenced by practices in pre-dynastic period in Egypt, as well as amid the early cultures of Mesopotamia and Crete. The practice of decorating eggshells as part of spring rituals is ancient, with decorated engraved ostrich eggs found in Africa, which are 60,000 years old. In the pre-dynastic period of Egypt and the early cultures of Mesopotamia and Crete, eggs were associated with death and rebirth, as well as with kingship, with decorated ostrich eggs and representations of ostrich eggs in gold and silver were commonly placed in the graves of the ancient Sumerians and Egyptians as early as 5,000 years ago. These cultural relationships may have influenced early Christian and Islamic cultures in those areas, as well as through mercantile, religious, and political links from those areas around the Mediterranean. The Christian custom of Easter eggs, specifically, started among the early Christians of Mesopotamia, who stained eggs with red coloring in memory of the blood of Christ shed at his crucifixion. The Christian Church officially adopted the custom regarding the eggs as a symbol of the resurrection of Jesus with the Roman Ritual, the first edition of which was published in 1610. From the Greek Church, the custom was adopted by either the Roman Catholics or the Protestants and then spread through Europe. The Easter egg tradition may also have merged into the celebration of the end of the privations of Lent in the West. Eggs were originally forbidden during Lent as well as on other traditional fast days. During Lent, since chickens would not stop producing eggs during this time, a larger than usual store might be available at the end of the fast. This surplus, if any, had to be eaten quickly to prevent spoiling. Then, with the coming of Easter, the eating of eggs resumes. Some families cook a special meatloaf with eggs in it to be eaten with Easter dinner. In the Orthodox churches, Easter eggs are blessed by the priest at the end of the Paschal Vigil, which is equivalent to Holy Saturday, and distributed to the faithful. The egg is seen by followers of Christianity as a symbol of resurrection. While being dormant, it contains a new life sealed within it. On either the second Monday or Tuesday of Pascha, after a memorial service, people bring blessed eggs to the cemetery and bring the joyous Paschal greeting, "Christ has risen," to their beloved departed. In the Roman Catholic Church in Poland, the so-called święconka, i.e. blessing of decorative baskets with a sampling of Easter eggs and other symbolic foods, is one of the most enduring and beloved Polish traditions on Holy Saturday. In Greece, women traditionally dye the eggs with onion skins and vinegar on Thursday, also the day of communion. These ceremonial eggs are known as kokina avga. They also bake tsureki for the Easter Sunday feast. Red Easter eggs are sometimes served along the center line of braided loaf of bread. In Egypt, it's a tradition to decorate boiled eggs during Sham el-Nessim holiday, which falls every year after the Eastern Christian Easter. The dyeing of Easter eggs in different colors is commonplace, with the color being achieved through boiling the egg in natural substances, oak or alder bark or walnut nutshell for black, beet juice for pink, or using artificial colorings. A greater variety of color was often provided by tying on the onion skin with different colored woolen yarn. Although one of the Christian traditions is to use dyed or painted chicken eggs, a modern custom is to substitute chocolate eggs or plastic-filled eggs with candy such as jelly beans. Easter egg hunts and egg rolling are two popular egg-related traditions. An egg hunt involves hiding eggs outside for children to run around and find on Easter morning. Eggs are rolled as a symbolic reenactment of the rolling away of the stone from Christ's tomb. In the United States, the Easter egg roll is an annual event that is held on the White House lawn each Monday after Easter. Thank you for watching. Please check out our other animations on history, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.
Welcome back. Just a little info on what Easter is about, talking on the Easter eggs, Good Friday, and also the resurrection of Jesus Christ and stuff like that. Now, getting back to the breakfast show and the topic of discussion, like I mentioned earlier, we'll be talking about young people in governance. And right about now, I'm joined by Stephen Kanyakula, who is acting Zambia National Student Union President, and we're just here to talk about that and also the importance of young people in the governance system. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you, Precious. How are you?
Okay. I'm okay. Yes, I'm good. Happy Easter holiday.
Happy Easter to you too.
Away from this, what do you have planned?
Well, initially I was supposed to be at church, so possibly after we're done here, I should be rushing back to church.
You missed church.
It's equally important as this discussion.
I won't actually get into that. Let's get into ZANASU.
Yes.
Yeah, Zambia's National Student Union. Let's get into that. What is it really about?
Okay, so the Zambia National Students Union dates way back. I think before even most of us were actually born. It dates back even before Zambia attained its independence.
Okay.
I must mention that ZANASU was founded in 1958. It was before Zambia got its independence. It was called the Students Union of Rhodesia. So it was a combined of ZANASU and ZINASU. So it was combined Zimbabwe and Zambia by then when we were still colonized.
Okay.
So after we got our independence back somewhere in 1968, that's when now it changed its name to the National Students Union of Zambia. And then ZINASU also went their separate ways. So it dates back way back. So ZANASU is an umbrella body of all institutions of higher learning in the country. So starting from universities, colleges, trade schools, and we've also integrated the aspect of the university and college prospects. So we're talking about secondary schools. So we have a mentorship program with secondary schools, because we know that these are the prospects of university.
Yes.
And then if you've noticed, some time back, now I think from the time that we took over the helm of ZANASU, we've tried to make sure that we stabilize and normalize the issues of riots and demonstration of higher learning. So what we identified was that, you see, the prospect of universities, university students rather, these in secondary school. So if you want to eliminate that aspect of demonstration, rioting, and all, yes, you need to start from there. We need to start a mentorship program from there, so that at least they know exactly what they expect going forward. So that at least we have a change of mind. There should be a change in mind in the mindset. So we have to start from there, because if you come to me right now, who's been in university or college for maybe 3-4 years plus, you start telling me,
my brain is already
exactly. You start telling me, this is not the way. You need to. Somehow listen, but not everyone is going to listen, because the first orientation you're going to have, as most people tell you in this public university, the first orientation you're going to have is that if you've not demonstrated during your stay here, it means your stay here was not.
It's traditional in short.
Exactly. So it's more of a thing. But if you started from there, where you've got the young people, actually this is not the way. The best way to go is let's dialogue and all that. So basically that's what ZANASU does. We make sure that we preside a gap between institution of higher learning and higher authorities, State House, Ministry of Higher Education, Parliament, and all that. I must mention that we actually have a very good relationship with Parliament. Every time they need to make amend with laws that have direct impact on the student movement, they call on us to make our submission what we feel is the best approach to go. And also State House have a very good relationship with State House. If there's anything that they need regarding the student movement and our input, we're always there to make sure that we provide the necessary input that is required.
Okay, I'm glad that you've mentioned that it doesn't only accommodate for colleges and university. You're also now mentoring the people in the secondary section. Now, I'm also I noticed you mentioned something to say sometimes State House might call you, which is like the government of the day.
Yes.
Are you politically inclined, considering the fact that during elections, the majority of the people that are involved in this political violence are students? And sometimes you will be tagged and affiliated to a certain political party. So is the ZANASU politically inclined?
ZANASU as an institution is a non-partisan institution. But that doesn't mean the members of the institution don't have a right to belong to a political party of their choice. So ZANASU in itself is a non-partisan institution, but the members themselves have the right to belong to any political party of their choice. And our message has always been clear to our students. You understand, the students are the think tank of this country. Let's not be peddled into politics or violence and just to propel a certain political agenda or somebody's rise to power, whatever it is that may come with that. I think the students, we need to be intellectual. We need to set the bar high and make sure that we give technical support and then proper advice to these politicians. At least they should the approach that politicians should take when they are going to students. I don't think they take the approach of using students to go and demonstrate or to demonstrate whatever it is. The approach they take is trying to change the narrative, because students need to understand that students they are trendsetters. They can change the narrative, depending on the issue, because students are the big chunk of our society.
True.
And if you go back to the 1991, even in 2000, it was the students that were at the center of the revolution. So that's exactly the kind of politics that our students play, and that's the kind of politics that we encourage our students to play. The one that is more objective and not destructive. Yes.
Now, you coming from the union, this is a very sensitive period, considering the fact that we are headed towards the elections. As the union, what are some of the activities? It might be away from the fact that we're headed towards elections, but I'm sure there's some activities that marry that. What are some of the activities that have been put in place for this year?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we have this year as ZANASU is our elections as well. So we were also having our own elections. No, we believe we're a democratic institution, and we believe that it's important that we abide by those democratic tendencies. So we'll be having the provincial elections starting in June. So we have to make sure that we usher in officers from all the different provinces of this country, and then from there in July we have what we call the Extraordinary Congress. Now that's why we're going to elect new leaders to take over the National Executive Committee, where I sit and the other colleagues. So after we are done with that, then we'll have the National Congress. That is so that we should pass on the mantle to the other people. I think if the student movement, we've demonstrated that that spirit, that it's important that you have your internal elections free, fair, and very credible. I think it goes back even to political parties, that it's just right that they also the right thing. I think our message to political parties has always been there. Maybe I didn't mention this. From our mandate, from our constitution, ZANASU's mandate does not just end on student affairs, but it goes beyond even
national affairs.
Yes, national affairs, where we feel either if it's the government or even those who are not in government, they're not doing the right thing. We always come in and advise and give our advice. Say, I think this is the best that you need to do going forward, because we don't just speak on my own when I sit. I'm speaking as Steve. When I'm speaking, I'm representing the over 38 institutions that are affiliated to ZANASU. So when I'm speaking on behalf of all those. So our advice has always been that going into the 2021 general elections, we understand that out of the 7 million plus registered voters, you find that over, may not be correct, but 40 to 50%, they're the young people. And then the young people also fall in the category of students. So I think it's also important that even as these political parties are having their intra-party elections, it's important that they're inclusive. They bring in the young people, the women, all those. We need inclusivity in when it comes to intra-party elections, because at the end of the day, we don't want just mere political rhetoric. So I'm saying, no, we mean well for the young people, blah, 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 and all those things. But where is the will? Have you shown the will that you actually mean well for the young people? Are we including the young people in your operation of your political party? parties. For instance, the UPND just had its intra-party elections where they are electing members of the National Management Committee. I don't know how many youths were elected into that in that committee, but at least I know one member of parliament from is this Sesheke? Yes, at least no, is it Honorable Romeo Kangombe?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's good that was even given that that big position. I think it should be deputy national mobilization. I think that's what we want to see going forward. And I think also even as the ruling party, Patriotic Front, will be going into their convention, I think next week or the other week, if I'm not mistaken, we also want to see a lot of young people coming on the forward. I think it's important that the president now needs to lead by example, because he's leading the country so that his party should lead by example by including young people into his intra-party elections. We have a lot of young people who are aspiring to sit into the to be members of the central committee of his political party. So we want to see that those young people are embraced and are also given a fair chance and a fair ground, a fair fighting ground. We want intimidation where because this one has more money compared to the young person, then the young person is intimidated. He or she is already eliminated from the race because of issues of money. So that's what we don't want to see, because what we believe in is that the fact that the fact that the young people are the majority voters going forward, how you treat them now as you are having your intra-party elections sends a very big picture to how you perceive us as the young people. Do you want us to be part and parcel of the governance, or you just want to use it merely to to propel your political agenda? So I think that's what we're looking for. We're looking at it. We're following it closely. We want to see how the young people and the women are integrated into the running of these political parties. Also, even as the adoption of becoming. We want to see a lot of young people, all the young people that have applied. We want to see them adopted and should be given an equal fighting chance, because they're competent. I'm sure most of them, even their leadership skills has been tried and tested. I think as young people, actually, we mentioned this, we're impressed with the likes of the guys who are aspiring to stand from both UPND, PF, MDC, and all these political parties who are aspiring to stand as members of parliament. We are gratified, and we're happy to see that the women
it's
want
motivating.
To stand. Exactly, it's motivating us. And even in this National Management Committee or members of the Central Committee, we know there's one comrade, this should be Comrade Tobias Banda, if I'm not mistaken. He wants to contest as a national youth chairman for PF. I think it's just right that he's given that opportunity, because if anything, he's even a youth.
Yeah, true.
He understands better the issues that the youths are going through, because he's not just a youth, but also wants to preside over the affairs at that level.
Are you vying any constituency yourself?
No. I'm not into mainstream politics. So I'm still playing student politics. Until such a time.
It's like you're training yourselves for that, which is a good thing. Which brings don't say no, because it's a yes. Because I personally feel if you had a certain office while you were still in college, for example, what's this? Presidency, what do you call them in colleges, universities?
They call it president.
Yes,
with a small p.
Yes, with a small p. If you get an opportunity to be that, I feel if you're able to take care of a university and the issues that they're going through, then you can manage a constituency, and then you can manage a province, and then you can manage a country. So I feel like there are stages while they're still dealing with because you also do elections and stuff. You know how it's supposed to be, the electoral process. The campaigns also happen as well. So you're getting yourselves ready for the future. So get ready for that member of parliament seat that's coming.
And I receive that being an minister. So let me just say I receive.
You receive it? Yes. So now getting into that, what is your take on young people participating in politics? Considering the fact that you're just from talking about how young people should be given a chance to actually be adopted by different political parties and given an opportunity to actually show how they're capable of handling certain situations when it comes to the governance system. What is your take on that?
Our take is that, look, I'll still get back to my earlier statement. Young people have been tried and been tested. I think most of the young people, if you've seen the ones that have been, at least that have made themselves available, you can see that they're very competent enough. The only thing that most of these young people are lacking are resources. And it's very hard to fight, especially if there's an incumbent that you want to fight who has a lot of resources at their disposal, who can equally just go into any community and distribute all those kinds of monies. And then here is a young people who's very competent enough. And he's even able to deliver compared to even the other person who's there. But you're just going to sideline them on the basis that they don't have money. Young people are very competent, and they're able to take the leadership of this country forward. Because what we need right now are new and fresh ideas.
I made that statement earlier.
Exactly, but we can't own, this same set but it's like we keep on being cut all the time. When you wakula foot, when is the
tree going to fully
exactly
blossom?
When is that going to come? Because we've been hearing that even way back. I think that's why
we've grown up hearing that.
Exactly. That's why as Zanas we commend the stance that Honorable Winda took. I think that's the best stance going forward, because 20 years is just enough time for someone to save. I grew up around Kawata. I've been, I
know the issues.
Part of my school, actually, if not most of my schools, my schooling days, I've been in Kawata from primary school, secondary school, tertiary education. Before Winda was a name, I think when Winda first assumed office, I think I was in grade 1, if I'm not mistaken. Now I'm even doing my second degree. But why should I? It means it's time that he passes on the mantle to the other person. I think it's just right that he does that. I think we also want to age that all the serving members who have served, at least if it's just 10 years, it's enough. What is it that you want to prove? What is that you want to that you failed to do for the past 20 years? There isn't much that you can do if you fail to deliver in 20 years, 15 years. Trust me, if I to give you another 20 years, there's nothing that you can do. You can't tell me that you are the only one who has the right brains or the ideas to move the country forward, the constituents forward. No, and I think for us, we actually been disappointed with what Bokonelias did. I think that's taking the citizens for taking them for granted. Today you can't wake up and say, no, today I'll resign, I want to contest, 2 days later, no, I'll contest. It means you're taking the electorate for granted. Leadership is about service, and the service is about the people. So if you're not putting the people in the equation, it means you're missing the point. It's not about self-ego.
It beats the point.
Yes, it's not about self-ego. Yes, we're not saying he's not capable. He's very much capable. He's delivered. I don't know what he's done, but I'm sure there's much that is done that is improved the status of Choma Central. But I think when you make such a decision, you need to be bold enough. Because today I can't wake up and say, no, I'm resigning as the Zanaso Vice President. 2 days later, I say, no, I think I rescinded my decision.
But then if you get the pressure from the people that you have been saving to say, no, you can't resign because we feel that you have been doing a very great job and we want you to continue.
My point is, leadership is about service, and services to the people. So if you want to decide to not contest, then it means you should consult with the people. If the people tell you, yes, it's fine, pass on the mantle to the next person, then you do as well. If the people don't tell you to do that, don't do that. But if you're just going to wake up on your own and decide, no, today I will rescind my decision, and then, and then is a comrade, because he also comes from Zanaso. I need to mention that.
Great.
Zanaso.
So you're actually preparing leaders.
Exactly. He's from our, what do you call it, alumni. He's there. He's part of our alumni members who have served in Zanaso diligently, actually. Even at Uza level as the president, he serves the university diligently. And for a man of his caliber, we expect more than taking the people for a ride.
But anyway, as we are headed towards elections, do you guys have any? Because I feel you are the people that are there. And I feel if you haven't done it yet, or maybe planning to do it, I feel you should do it now. Sensitization on making sure that students are not involved in political violence, or is there anything like that?
Well, I need to make mention that actually as the Zambia National Students Union, we are part of a coalition which is called the Democracy and Motherland Defenders Coalition. So our principle is that we want to train not less than 10,000 students to be part of the election monitoring and observing. So I think that's a plus, because we are not only just going to help our students maybe make even just like a 10 kwacha or a 3 kwacha at the end of the day, but at least we're trying to instill the principles of democracy into them, and also having the pride that I was part of this great election and make sure that it was free, fair, and credible. So I think going forward, that's what we're doing. Very soon we'll start conducting the trainings for our students. So I think we're going to conduct all the trainings across the country to make sure that at least even from each province, if you can pick even just 10, 20 or so, so that at least they're part of the election monitoring and observing. So I think that's what we're doing into this election. That's what we're also carrying out. Our sensitization programs don't end. Every year we have what we call we have trainings for negotiation, lobbying, dialogue, and all those things. So all those will also come into place. But this time around, we're going to make sure that we also have an input in terms of election monitoring and all those other aspects, so that at least our students are well equipped and they know how to defend. Because at the end of the day, it's a democratic right, and we need to defend our democracy and we need to defend our motherland. And who are better placed than the young people of this country, because the future, not really the future, but this country belongs to us. No, not to speak bad of anyone, but I think most of our members of parliament who are in parliament now, most of them, majority, they are above 70. I think from a medical point of view, they don't have, some might have 10 years plus, but majority don't even have that, most of them. So it's just important that we pass on the mantle to the other young people. We've seen a lot of young people. There's Honorable Count. He's done tremendous work in material there as a councillor. If the man wants to contest as an MP, why can't you give him a chance? He's young, he's proved, he's proved himself at that level. It's just important that now he's elevated to another level to try himself. Also, we have a lot of young people aspiring, both from the UPND, from
which
the
will be
PA,
putting you also on the list as well. I'm glad that you are actually doing that. So you will be the ones that will be pushing for them to actually be part of the electoral process and stuff like that. So how long is the training?
Well, our trainings are not really long, probably just a 2 to 3 days training, because you just need to understand the basics and the fundamentals of elections. You need to understand what happens pre, during, and post-election. So once you can you can explain this, then that's it. Our students, most of them, they are well equipped and they are well read. They are well vested into the issues of civic education and the electoral process in itself.
Okay, so before I let you go, what are your closing remarks?
No, my closing remarks will still anchor back at the point that we need to see more young people take part and participate into these elections, the general elections. And also the other part would be that we would also want to congratulate our comrade. She just won an election as the first female student president at the University of Lusaka. Yeah, so I think to us that's commendable. Maybe I didn't mention that SANASU in itself, we have what we call a Zambia National Students Union Women's Network. This network was formed in 2018, just after we had realized that we've seen there are only few female students who take part into the democracy of this institution or the election of this institution. So we said, how best can we help our colleagues to make sure that we have more female coming on board? Because most of the time, what you say is that if a female participates, no, I'm going to be a committee member or I'm going to be a publicity secretary. But no, we said, no, we want you to aspire for bigger positions. We want you to aspire for president, vice president, secretary general, or just all those top positions. And then we started the mentorship program. So we've trained over 500 plus female students to meet, in terms of leadership. We've equipped them with all the vast knowledge, and I think it's yielding fruits. We've seen, I think there's a rise in terms of, if you look at from the time that we took over Zanas up to now, the number of female in participation into institution elections, you'll be surprised that actually majority are actually going for top position. Most of them, they are getting these positions. So to us,
as the future, as we say, the future is female.
And the future is now. Keep on waiting for the future.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Kanyakula, for coming through. Well, for those of you that have just joined us, well, unfortunately, we are closing and packing our bags, saying bye-bye. Would love to say thank you for coming through and sparing time to watch the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show. On the other side, we're just discussing young people and governance, and we were joined by Mr. Stephen Kanyakula, who was telling us about the importance of having young people in the governance system. Well, for me, Precious Mzea, Sakaleji, Isaac, and Elijah Chifita on the other side, it's good morning and pleasant viewing. Happy Easter holiday.